Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStar presentation. Tonight, we are going to be broadcasting the semi-finals of the Bronze, Silver, and Gold Coast Tournament. My name is Coldblood, and I'll be bringing these games to you by myself. So, we have had round robin for quite a while, and the 6 teams that we'll go over in a minute were the ones who are going to be playing for the prize, which I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't right now. I was listening to Instalock, which that was the music that was playing just before. So if you did like that music, you can head on over to YouTube and check them out. They are pretty cool. They take terrible pop songs and turn them into very good league parodies. And of course, parodies of mainstream music are always much better than the aforementioned original versions. So we are into the champion select, of course. Before we go over what's going on here, we'll say all of the team names. I might just post them in the Twitch chat here. So the 6 teams that will be competing for the prize will be Tang and Friends, SKT1 John Patrol, Team Abyss, OG Kush, Smart Casual, and YMCMB. So this will be the semis between SKT and Smart Casual, and we had some shoutouts in the Twitch chat already. Andy the Yag was the very first one in the Twitch chat, and then we have some shoutouts for Klepto to be president. So we'll have to see how he goes in his presidential campaign. Of course, we will go over what's happening in the Champ Select here. For those who are unaware, we do black out the summoners just in case the players are trying to ghost on the stream, find out what the other side's running ahead of time. We do not allow that, as once they get into the loading screen, we'll be able to reveal those and discuss them. Already, we can see the Jinx and the Shen were banned out by SKT, and they've taken the poor Susan out of the pool. He has been a very popular ban lately. And for the Smart Casual guys, we've got Malphite, Vayne, and J4 banned out. So some 2 very strong initiators, and then no one wants to deal with Vayne. It's interesting that Lucian has made it through the bans and hasn't actually been picked up yet. It's you don't often see that. We can see Mumu going to be the first pickup for SKT. He is of course very strong against uncoordinated teams who tend to group up at potentially the worst times. Of course, guys, this is a Bronze, Silver, and Gold tournament, so don't go into this expecting LCS, or not LCS, something better, OGN type plays. These guys are around most of our level, so let's try and keep it respectful. Hey, they're not going to be world class, but hopefully we can see some awesome plays come out nonetheless. Karma and Wukong were the other pickups by the SKT guys. That is a massive amount of AoE potential, and it looks like they're trying to decide on their marksman or AD carry. Yeah, you did hear Susan. That is what we like to call Narcissus here at GameStar, and it was purely the people in the Twitch chat's fault. If you say Narcissus backwards, it's Susan, and they got it stuck in my head so badly that I just had to keep saying it. So unfortunately, Susan will not be in this game. Hopefully he will be in the next one, so I can say that name even more. And for the other side, the Smart Casual, we've got Garen, Leona, Tristana, and Twisted Fate picked up. I would love to see a Nocturne pick up here. That would be so sick. He is my favorite champion, and it will get locked in now. I think we can already see what's going on here. Twisted Fate has an ultimate that reveals the enemy team and lets him teleport to the top or the bottom. Nocturne has an ultimate that takes vision away from the enemy team and allows him to launch himself across the map. Twisted Fate and Nocturne could be appearing in either top or bot at any point in the laning phase once they pick up the ultimates. So that is a very smart pickup. It is an awesome little combo, and we'll have to see how it works out for them. For the SKT guys, I'm really excited to see the Karma pickup. It was actually in the OGN last night and the Battle of the Atlantic this morning. We saw the Karma support, and she's got a lot of control. She can do an AoE slow, place down a field that does a delayed nuke with slow as well. She can snare anyone who jumps on top of her, and particularly the shield when it gets when the mantra gets used on it, becomes very ridiculous. And of course, they did just buff that, so the person she uses the shield on when the mantra is used as well will get bonus movement speed. So if you put it on, say, someone like a Wukong, they're going to be sitting in the Cyclone for a lot of time. And of course, Wukong's Cyclone has 480% of his AD as its damage, so it is quite dangerous. So we will be able to go over the summoners now. Immediately we can see the Ignite taken on Karma, Delph the Dragon, who will probably be going bot lane, unless they do something funky like support Wukong. Leona has opted to go for Exhaust, so if they get into a fight, Exhaust will be more useful if you are going for utility rather than damage. And of course, Leona's going to be able to lock down a single target for a massive amount of time. The Soul Shield probably not going to not going to be the most effective. Shout out to Dr. Jake, who's asking how there can be 10 people in the game when there's only 7 people in the world. I think he may be a little bit misinformed, but whatevs. I hope you guys can see up the top left-hand corner there is a picture of the Gold Coast I found. I thought it was quite a beautiful picture, and even though none of us actually know what outside looks like, I thought it'd be pretty cool to put on the overlay there. So of course, in the mid lane, it will be Twisted Fate versus Fizz. This is dangerous for Fezzonating on the Twisted Fate, as TF. I mean, he's got decent range, but he has to run up to auto to do, a lot of his trading. And Fizz loves when people run into auto attack range of him, because he just jumps on them and murders them. So as soon as Fizz gets to around level 4, that's when Twisted Fate's going to have to stay right the heck back, and it will be very dangerous for him. Shout out to XMWJ and Shifting Mexican OP, with the former laughing at the latter's proclamation of joining the Navy, as I Am Zero saying Karma Shield is going to be like a cyclone. Rabid Z06 saying what is outside, that's what I was thinking. And yeah, so the top lane will be Wukong versus Garen. They both spin to win. Garen does so more frequently, obviously. And Garen is a very strong lane bully, whereas Wukong, he is decent until he starts running low on the mana, because he loves to dash in, get the Nimbus Strike off, and then decoy out. But Garen's resourceless and has innate sustain in the Perseverance or whatever his passive is. So it's going to be difficult for Wukong. If he can get perfect timing on the decoy to absorb a decisive strike or the judgment, it will be greatly in his to his favor to absorb those cooldowns with his clone. But we'll have to see how it goes. So we're finally jumping into the game here, guys. Really sorry that it was late. We had the 5th member of Smart Casual who did not turn up for a little bit, and we're finally going to get into the skin battle here. That is the part where we see what skins the players will be taking in, the first victory of the night. And of course, this is a best of 3 this series, and we'll be bringing another one to you in a few hours time. Best of 3s are very interesting because of the psychology going into it. The first game is very important for momentum, and in a game like League of Legends where snowballing is a very real factor, momentum can make all the difference. So we're finally into the game here. Jade, Dragon, Wukong, almost Prom King Amumu. Unfortunately, we don't have Prom Queen Annie to combo with him. We've got Rocket Girl Tristana, Pool Party Leona, Steel Legion Garen, Underworld TF. So Smart Casual definitely going to take this skin battle away, which they're winning the first victory of the night. Klepto is under a lot of pressure on the Fizz, as he's got a little bit of a fan base going in the Twitch chat. We'll have to see if he can live up to their expectations. So I am excited to see the Nocturne versus Amumu matchup. Nocturne, of course, has a large amount of early game damage between the attack damage of the Dustbringer and the Shroud of Darkness's attack speed. If he absorbs something key like the Bandage Toss on Amumu, he's going to be able to duel him incredibly easily. Amumu known for being very, very strong once he hits the level 6, even fairly strong before that, but not 1v1. It is very difficult for him, even with blue buff, where he can spam his Torment or whatever that he is. he has a lot of trouble with very strong early game heroes, like, or not heroes, sorry, champions, like the Nocturne. We are finally into the game here, and we will quickly fix up what's going on up here. Might actually be pretty easy. There we go. So, representing SKT1 John Patrol, in this first game of a best of three, we will have Steve the Yag as the Jade Dragon Wukong, Delph the Dragon on the Karma. He will be joined by Sexy the Yag on Ezreal. In the jungle, we'll have Danny the Yag and the very popular Klepto in the mid lane. And don't worry, guys, the Yag in some of these teams, some of these players' names means absolutely nothing. They said stuff like young and gay, and there was something on Wikipedia about, I'm actually just going to check what it was, a yttrium aluminium garnet, which is some kind of gem. But the YAG doesn't actually mean anything. So we are alright there. And for Smart Casual, who may be in a little bit of trouble there if they get jumped on. Oh, actually, After that Angel going to be going into the wrong place. Going to try and rocket jump over the wall, but will instantly get taken down. Of course, First Blood not worth nearly as much as it was before, but it looks like a significant amount of gold going to go over to SKT1 John Patrol. Well done by them. So we will go over the purple team, who are at a little bit of a deficit at the moment. Invoked will be the Steel Legion Garen. We have Ahmed on the Leona. He'll be joined by Half Dead Angel, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We have Fezonating on the Twisted Fate, and Juichiro. Okay, I'm just going to call him Dewey. So we can see Amuma's going to be starting off at the red here. We have a Fizz who's picked himself up a Fairy Charm, going to be able to spam out the Playful Trickster a lot, so this Twisted Fate's lane is going to be a little bit difficult. Actually, looks as though we have Tristana going mid, as opposed to Twisted Fate. Now, of course, oh, so there's going to be a 2v1. I didn't even realize that was going on. So, Fizz not going to have as much of an easy time as we thought. Twisted Fate going to have a little bit of trouble, but of course he does have the wild cards to farm from range. Going to take a little bit of poke out from Karma and Ezreal there, doing a decent bit of damage back to the Karma, of course. And Juichiro deciding to go for the white. I would have liked to see Shroud of Darkness picked up first, as the attack speed would allow him to clear that out a little bit faster. At the top lane. Oh, actually, we can see Twisted Fate down at the bottom lane will end up falling. We'll just quickly check out how that happened. So we can see the blue team being very aggressive here. Fezonating. Yeah, in a 1v2, you can't go that far forward. You've got to wait for the minions to push back. Going to be a nice Q out of the Karma and a flash forward by Sex of the Yag to finish that one off. The Q, of course, in a flame. So the Karma support that we talked about going very well at the moment. Klepto staying right the heck back. Doran's Blade would have been much... Doran's Shield would have been much better against this combo, but of course he didn't expect to be facing that. As we can see, Danny the Yag going to be coming in onto Invoke. Does have the decisive strike. Nice bandage toss going to land on top of him, and the spinning starts, and the flash will be enough to get him out of there. So well done. Juichiro going to be clearing his way down to the Wraiths here. Fezonating, it will help him that he has the loaded dice, which will, the little CS that he manages to get will give him bonus gold. Going to try and clear it out now. He really needs to pick a card. That'll make it a lot easier, but won't have it for now. Explosive shot going to go on to Klepto in the mid lane. The ping's going out by Juichiro to come down and help the Twisted Fate. It's interesting that Smart Casual decided to do this 1v2, as Twisted Fate doesn't have access to the top lane with the Destiny Gate combo. Doing a decent job of CSing under the tower here. Juichiro going to be running over the ward. Ezreal saying, you belong in a museum, and it looks like they're actually going to turn that one around, as up at the top lane, Invoked will end up falling. That is very unfortunate for him. SKT1 at a great lead in the early parts of the game. 1,300 gold in their favor. Cheerio going to be taking out the white there. Pheasanating, now that he has the blue card, he will be able to CS from range. Although the inner flame will land, and he is not going to be escaping from that one. Poor Delph not going to get the kill with the ignite there. Ahmed falling lower and lower, does have the Eclipse active. Danny the Ag going to flash forward and use the burst of the Tantrum, not Torment, to do a huge amount of damage and end up taking down the tanky Leona. She did not even get to flash, and things quickly looking to be snowballing into SKT1's control. All the lanes for them are winning. They of course got the first blood onto Fizz, and he'll be very happily sitting back with that gold. If he could get maybe a GP10 or something, he'd be even happier. But the way it's going is at 800, he'll be able to pick up an Amp Tome and the Mana Crystal. I'd personally go for maybe, say, Boots and a Crystalline Flask, but we'll have to see what he decides to go. Pheasanating going to be arriving back at the bottom lane here. In a flame will go off. And yeah, now, are they going to dive this one? No, they're not quite tanky enough to do that one. Ezreal running lower and lower on the mana. The mid tower going to be taking a lot of damage. It really should have been getting damaged more than this. When they're the ones who instigated the 1v2. The bottom lane not looking the worst, and of course Twisted Fate's wave clear is pretty damn good. As soon as the Paranoia is available, which is Nocturne's ultimate, I would expect him to probably be ganking the Fizz, who's actually gone triple Doran's Ring, so gonna have tons of mana to be spamming that mobility out. We'll have to see if he roams around and kind of leaves the tower. He's trying to CS under it, but it is a little difficult. Fascinating, taking a lot of damage from the missed shot of Sexy the Yag, who's opted to go for Longsword rather than Doran's Blade, so going to be able to pick up the Phage or the Vamp Scepter very, very early on. Bottom lane going to continue to push for Smart Casual here. The tower taking a little bit more damage each time. Cheerio going to be hanging out at the bottom lane here. Gold card will land onto Delph the Dragon, but as a melee with no real gap closer at the moment, Nocturne, it's very difficult for him to keep up with the Karma, of course, as someone's falling low. Is that at the top lane? Invoked going to take a lot of damage from the Wukong, who is falling lower and lower on the mana. He is packing 1600 gold, so could go Brutalizer and Boots if he so desired. We'll have to see what he decides to do. Pheasanating going to continue trying to clear the wave out down here. The tower is starting to take more damage at about half HP at the moment. Level 3 in the wildcards will help him clear that one out. Chum the Waters is available. How close is a Mumu to level 6? Surely he isn't far away. So that's going to be a devastating combo in the mid. Of course, Tristana quite good at peeling for herself, particularly when she has the ultimate Buster Shot available. As Danny the Ag actually quite low on mana. The bottom lane is going to recall here, wondering what Sexy the Ag will decide to pick up for himself. As Delph the Dragon probably has a decent bit of money himself, is going to pick up the Nomad's Medallion and then go for the Sightstone next. Pheasanating, definitely going to pick up a Doran's Ring or two. He needs that wave clear. No, he will go for Fiendish Codex instead, so wants the cooldown reduction for spamming the wild cards out. We can see up at the top, Brutalizer and Cloth Armor is picked up, probably smart against the almost pure physical damage of Garen. He of course does have the magic damage ultimate, but like we said, if Wukong is smart on the decoy timing, he will be able to juke that one. As Chum the Waters will go off in the mid. Half Dead Angel going to actually get interrupted on the rocket jump by Chum the Waters. Barrier will be used. Is it enough? Seastone Trident is not going to pick up the kill until Klepto fashes forward. The exhaust not going to do much there. Ahmed dodges the bandage toss. Curse of the Sad Mummy is available. Klepto's actually going to get jumped on here very nicely. No. Klepto not going to go down, as Wukong is going to pick up Invoked up at the top lane. Danny the Yag going to get a kill with the bandage toss there. Cheerio, can he escape from this? Amumu's falling lower on the mana and does indeed manage to walk away with 2 for 0 when all was said and done. That was very well done by SKT John Patrol. Looks like the bottom lane will be falling lower and lower here. The Sheen and Pickaxe were picked up by Sex of the Ag, so it looks like he's going for a Triforce Last Whisper build, picking up the items in an interesting manner. So poor half-dead Angel was in midair when the shark came out of the water and took him down. Paranoia now available for Jukirio. Klepto certainly would have gone down had that been available in the previous fight, but alas, it was not meant to be. Invoked does have the Demacian Justice up at the top. Wukong did use the Cyclone to get a kill before, which we did end up missing. And the CS very heavily in the blue team's favor there at the bottom lane. Sexy the Ag going to pick up his third kill on to Twisted Fate. And I think this may be all she wrote for Smart Casual in this game. It was an unfortunate face check by Half Dead Angel into the bush. He probably wasn't expecting the entirety of the enemy team to be in there already. And it's kind of snowballed out of their control from there. Juchirio had to babysit the TF for a while and couldn't get the pressure or the farm that he wanted. He's only at 26 to the 36 of Mumu. And we didn't get to see that awesome Twisted Fate Nocturne combo with great global presence. Steve the Yag going to be decoying in here is... oh, I thought that was him spinning, but it's just Karen who's going to be doing that. The mana is quite low. Will decoy be used? Of course, if you've been hit by Dustbringer, you will make the trail even if you're invisible. And I guess we can't really count Smart Casual out just yet. It is 5,000 against them. But they could manage to turn it around if they have great positioning in the fights. Decoy not going to be used. Steve the Yag just going to be sitting there. They're not sure if he actually has used it there. Decoy goes off. Danny the Yag going to come up, try and turn this gank around. Nice bandage toss, but it will get shrouded there. But the Curse of the Sad Mummy will come out. Invoked. I think he may actually get out as Wukong is falling quite low on the mana. But Danny the Yag is going to burst him down with the Sad Mummy's burst potential, which is massive. Fascinating. True Shot Barrage will finish him off there. Long range kill for Sexy the Yag. And not a lot that Smart Casual can do at this point. Juchirio just trying to clear the top lane out. The mid tower has not yet fallen for SKT. I don't think they can defend it too long though, as every level that Tristana gets, she will get longer and longer range. Ahmed going to be jumped on here. Is he tanking enough to escape? No. Wool ended up getting burst down. The Buster Shot is a second too late to prevent that one. Sexy the Ag and Delph the Dragon going to be spam pushing down here at the bottom lane. Resonating can't do much about this one. Mantra will be popped by the Karma. And Fascinating going to get jumped on once again. Can they do anything with it? No, last auto attack will not finish him off there. Juchirio going to continue clearing away. The jungle Invoked is 2 levels behind the Wukong, and Wukong is quite good when he gets to snowball. The trinket wards go down on either side of the wall at the bottom lane here. Half Dead Angel needs to get the heck out. As a nice dodge on the bandage toss, but is leaving the tower for dead at the moment, with 3 members of SKT down there. Klepto going to be recalling in the mid there. Up at top, we can see continuing to go Wukong's way. Steve the Yag looks like he will be going for the Randuins or perhaps the Sunfire Cape. True Shot Barrage will go off in the bottom lane as the push will continue there. 3 members of the purple team are here, including Destiny Gate and Paranoia, if they need to join a fight at long range. Steve the Yag going to pick up an easy kill up at the top. The Brutalizer negating a lot of Invoke's armor that he's trying to invest into. Really needed to max out the Judgment, I think, or maybe get more points in the Courage. As Juchirio, again, just trying to clear up. He's trying to get as much gold as he can, but Amumu is a solid 1,500 gold in front of him. And, of course, Amumu offers a lot more in team fights in terms of utility. And at the moment, even damage because of the XP that he's at. Steve the Yag will get jumped on here. Has no mana for Decoy. Could potentially be going down here. No, looks like Juchirio going to back off, as in the mid lane, Twisted Fate will end up falling. Klepto going to be jumped on. Can he get out? The Mantra Shield will go out by Karma. Flash is blown. And the... oh, actually, Klepto... oh, I don't know how he turned that one around. The Zenith Blade will end up missing him. Ahmed can do nothing here, and Smart Casual just falling to pieces with they were doing alright in the mid. Now it's Klepto's just way too slippery. He got the first blood and now he's at 502. Not much CS, but in a 1v2 what can you really expect? Invoked in the mid here, trying to stop this tower going down. It will be the last of the tier 1 towers for Smart Casual. As they're going to continue to try and defend this one up. Curse of the Sad Mummy is available, as is Amumu's Flash. As Lesonating, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Will he use the Destiny Gate to try and get out? No, I think he realized just a little too late that he was getting followed by a mummy. And at this point, Amumu's just going to be relentless with the chasing. Karma going to try and get an assist, which she will indeed. Fesonating just going to stand there and let the tears end up taking him down. Sexy the Yag doing his best to secure that one, but it will be to no avail. Delph the Dragon going to be jumped on here. Invoke is coming in. Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to potentially turn the fighter, and Jukirio going to try and flash out. Breaks the snare from the Karma, and actually going to get a nice inner flame to finish that one off. Half Dead Angel will get that one. He has a reset on the rocket jump, uses the barrier, doesn't quite clear the wall. Churn the Waters will end up landing, and Half Dead Angel not going to be able to escape this one unless Klepto allows him to live. Invoke going to be coming in and not able to do too much. I believe Fesonating went down at the start to make that a 4-for-1. It will be 5-for-1 in the end, so a delayed ace coming out, and Cyclone was not even used in that fight. So I'd say this is definitely over unless SKT make a horrible mistake. They are 12,000 gold in the lead at the 15-minute mark, 21-1, and Smart Casual, they're going to have to try and figure out something for next game. They've got to try and be a little more defensive in the lane so that they do not end up falling. This could be the Paranoia Destiny Gate combo that we wanted to see before. Flash will go out by Fesonating. Sexy the Ag cannot Arcane Shift out, and the shutdown will go to potentially the best person there, the AP mid, who does have his Sheen, also has the Fiendish Codex. Perhaps could be going for Morello Nomicon first, and I think this may be over. I'd say the chat is saying so as well. Steve the Yag going to be waiting up here at the top lane. Sunfire Cape being worked on by Invoke. Juchirio going to be coming in from behind, but there is a turnaround from the blue team. That is not what Smart Casual wanted to see. They're both fairly tanky, but it will not be enough. Blue team just too far ahead. Their damage is insane, and Ahmed going to try and run in and turn it around with his Eclipse popped. He is fairly tanky as well, but their damage is just through the roof. Nice Eclipse actually going to, not Eclipse, sorry, Solar Flare, and actually will Wukong get out? No, he won't. Nice rocket jump by Half Dead Angel. Actually going to pick up a double kill with the help of the tower. Karma going to try and turn this one around. Danny the Yag is waiting under the tower. Nice bandage toss. Unstoppable is Danny the Yag on a movie. Flash forward and Curse of the Sad Mummy. Double kill for Danny the Yag with some nice support from Delph the Dragon at the bottom lane. Sexy the Yag going to take down the Twisted Fate. Has got the Infinity Edge and had enough gold to pick up a BF going towards the BF sword Infinity Edge. As Delph the Dragon has a lot of AP for himself, has foregone the Talisman of Ascendance in favor of more AP. Of course, Inspire, I thought it was Soul Shield, but maybe that's down here. No, it's just Defiance, okay. Maybe Soul Shield is what it was before. Juchirio going to be advancing here in the mid to try and push that one out. Invoked. Is he far away from the Sunfire? No, he only needs another couple of creeps to have enough for it. The bottom tower will now fall. That's only 2 pieces of infrastructure left outside of Smart Casual's base. Ahmed could get jumped on here. Has finished the Ruby Sightstone. So if they want to come back, Vision will be the way they do that. Going to be denying the Vision in the enemy base. That will be key as well to stop this outrageous poke coming in from Ezreal, and Karma Fesonating going to be forced back there. Getting closer and closer to the Lich Bane. Invoked could potentially get this top tower. There is no one heading to stop that, but Curse of the Sad Mummy is up in 20 seconds, and there will be just an explosion of AoE goodness coming out from the blue team there. Chiro not going to be able to do too much. Does end up getting out though. Half Dead Angel going to be jumped on, and actually no, the purple team, blue team going to disengage. Half Dead Angel will end up getting out very nicely, disengaged by the purple team. Only Twisted Fate going down there. They will get the top tower at, they will get the top tower down, but they could give up the tier 3 for the bottom lane there. As the inhibitor going to fall. To answer Shift Mad, this is a bronze, silver and gold tournament, so you'll have to forgive the players for not being as high a caliber as perhaps the highest of players. There's a purple team going to be coming through here. I will not falter, says Garen. But SKT going to continue to disengage here. Will Ahmed go in? No. Danny the Egg going to be jumping in. I don't know if Curse of the Sad Mummy is available. It is indeed. But the AoE is just ridiculous from the blue team. They will instantly take up 3 kills. Juchirio falling lower and lower. That will be the ace, apart from Tristana, who will get snared up by Karma here. Klepto is closing in, does have the Lich Bane available. Flash is used by Half Dead Angel, but the follow-up flash from Klepto will make that an ace, with a triple kill going to Klepto. Sex to the Yag barely gets out, and that will certainly be all she wrote for this game. I cannot see how Smart Casual can come back from this one. They can't even surrender for another 20 seconds. Blue team going to be going over to the T2 in the mid. Danny the Yag has done a fantastic job on the Mumu this game. When a Mumu gets ahead in the XP, he just becomes ridiculous to deal with. Now, will the surrender be coming out from Smart Casual, or do they think they can hold on? Of course, Tristana's late game is quite good. TF's mid game is good, and they've got a decent tanky front line, but it's going to be a very steep hill to climb, as the Nexus will indeed blow up as the surrender vote goes out, and SKT going to pick up game 1 there. So we will go into the post-match screen. And yeah, so that was very well done by SKT1, picking up the win. I think we're going to have to hand MVP to... It's hard between Danny the Yag and Klepto. They both did amazing. I think we'll have to give it to Danny the Yag, though. He had just outrageous presence in the early game, was all over the place, landing all kinds of bandage tosses. Curse of the Sad Mummy was never wasted. It always netted a positive result for his team. And yeah, so we will be jumping into game 2 here, guys, and we'll have to see if Smart Casual can take it away. See you in just a little bit. This is Cold Blood, signing out for now.